Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is part of the Altenew July 2019 blog hop and giveaway as they are releasing a new set of stamps, dies, stencils, and a new stamping mat. And these are gorgeous. This project is going to focus on using the pen sketch flowers, and this is a beautiful stamp that is being released today but won't be available until August the 8th. So make sure you add it to your wish list because you want to have these stamps. It is gorgeous. So what I'm going to create with this set is a little layout for my life crafted album, and this album is from Citrus Twist Kits, and it has the size is the one of a standard traveler's notebook. So I'm cutting a piece of white cardstock to fit a page protector, which is 5 by 8 1/4, and I'm gonna cut two pieces because I want a double page layout. It's a small layout. So what I'm going to do for the left hand side of this layout is I'm going to use some of the images from the stamp set just to fill up the page. And my idea is I want to create I'm really always I love beautiful pattern paper, and I like those ones that comes with the gold foil and just has flower motifs everywhere. So my idea was to try to recreate something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat some of the stamping of the images. Some of them are going to overlap, but they're not going to get lost. And so you're going to see that there's going to be quite a bit of white space, but I am going to fill in some of those spaces with pieces or of the images of the stamp. So for that, you're going to see that I'm going to stamp quite a bit outside of the page. So you're going to see maybe a little piece of a flower or the buds or a little pieces of the branch that are holding the flowers, and I'm okay with that. My idea was just to fill up the page so that it looks like pattern paper, but also not have enough white space that you can have the definition of the flowers, but also not have a lot of white space that it looks like random stamping. So you're gonna see once I fill it up, I'm just trying to make sure that it has a continuity what I'm stamping, but I am also gonna leave, like I said, not lots, but plenty of white space so that the images don't get bundled up or confusing, and sometimes the flowers don't have a definition. It just looks like a random stamping. So I'm being careful of that, but once I have that in place, I'm bringing in the picture every so often just to make sure that I have enough coverage outside of the little perimeter where the picture is gonna sit. And the picture is that of me. That's me walking, and we went out for a walk with my family, and they kind of walk fast. I'm a slow walker. So what I did is I just stood there and took a picture because I wanted to capture the moment. I want to see them walking in front of me. I take a lot of pictures of my family walking. It's one of my favorite poses. There's something about seeing them together that just fills out my heart. So I just took the chance to take a selfie. But before I glue it onto the page, I'm gonna add a little piece of double cardstock, and this is the one I use is basil, and it's gonna create a little bit of a lift from the page, and that is gonna add a little bit of dimension without adding bulk. And I don't want to add bulk. I want the picture to lay flat, not flat, but I want a little bit of a lift so that you can see the separation between the picture and the layout. And you saw that I backed the picture with a piece of paper from the Verdun wool collection from Altenew. But I picked a really soft shade of pink, kind of corally tone, and I'm going to use the same tone to create the decoration onto the right hand side of this layout. For that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the flower images from the pen sketched flower stamp set just to think of a branch that is going to decorate the entire right hand side edge of this layout. So I'm going to make sure that I kind of stamp it in a continuous motion so that you're going to see that it softly creates sort of an S shape that is gonna encroach or nest at the writing that I added. And I added quite a bit of journal. I took it while I make sure that the ink sets. I took it off and just added it on my typewriter. I make sure that I kind of try to block it as much as I could towards the left of the layout because I already had the idea of stamping the images. And now all I'm gonna do is add some watercolor to this, and I'm gonna go to try to pick up some of the pink tones that I used to back the picture. You're gonna see that I'm gonna go really fast on the video, but it actually was a really fast application of the watercolor or the pigment in this case. And one of the reasons why I went with like a very not non-detailed look for these flowers is one, because I'm not using watercolor paper. I'm just using regular cardstock, and I don't want it to buckle. You're gonna see towards the end, even though I'm using very little water, there's gonna be a little bit of a buckle, and I wanted to avoid that. So all I'm doing is kind of doing a quick wash of the color to the entire flower, and then just picking the extra color and kind of feathering from the center out. That's just gonna add a little bit of shadowing and definition to each of the flowers. The only thing that I was careful to go petal by petal, just to make sure that even though it's a quick watercoloring, I still add some definition and a little bit of I don't want it just to be like, you know, one single color. I want to add a little bit of definition, some shadow, but it's not detail as it would be in another if I wanted to create a card, or I wanted to be if I would have used watercolor paper, I probably would have taken the time to make it completely defined. But because, like I said, the type of paper, it didn't help to do that. But still, you're gonna see that, even like I said, I am adding a little bit of shadow. I'm gonna add a little bit of extra color just to create that soft definition and some shadowing, and to bring some shadows and to bring definition, and to just add a little more realism to the flowers. So once I have those in place, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring a little bit of the orange watercolor just to the center of some of the flowers, because you actually can see the centers of them. So I don't want to have them all pink. I'm gonna add a little bit of orange just to create the definition, and then I'm gonna go in with Parrot, which is the green tone that I'm gonna use just to actually go carefully fill in the spaces that are the branches and the, I don't know how you call them, the back of the flowers. I wanted to make sure that when I added the green, that I cover all these spaces. There's not that many leaves in this image that I picked, so I want to make sure that I add the green to the little branches and the little buds. And you're gonna see that I am gonna take my time to add a few extra drops of the watercolor to where the ends of the buds are, or wherever the branches cross, so that you create a shadow and you create that definition. And also it just gives a little bit more realism. And once I have that in place, I'm going to set it aside to dry. You're going to see that even though I added very little water, it's going to be a little bit of a curled already in the paper, and I wanted to avoid that. So now that it's already dry completely, I'm going to add my sentiment. And I chose to add a stamped image, sorry, from the same set, the pen sketch flower set. It said "Be happy," and the reason why I chose is because it had a beautiful handwritten look to them, and I thought it was gonna be great with all the flowers, and also with the typewriters, that kind of nice contrast. And I added that in black, and then I bring a little bit of gold because I have the gold going motif going here. And I brought one of the sentiments from the Walk in the Woods stamp set that says "Live the life you always imagine." After that, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring a few stickers just to add some sentiments to the page. I'm gonna make sure that I add a few extra gold embellishments just to match everything that I have in place. And that's pretty much gonna complete my page. Super simple, very easy to put together. It took very little time to put together, a little bit longer on the watercoloring, but I love how this turned out. Now you're gonna see the close-ups. You're gonna see how I stamped the flowers behind the picture. It does, like I said, I make sure there was plenty of white space, but it was filled. And you're gonna see the watercolor. Like I said, even though it's a quick watercoloring, you still can see definition, a little bit of shadows, but it's not as detailed. And I hope you try it. If you have any questions, as always, do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to help you or answer your questions. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember to hop onto my blog to join in the release and have a chance to win gift certificates. Thank you so much for joining me.